I am Nayana Pawar. Today we will discuss about the composition of atmosphere. The definition of atmosphere, which is the atmosphere is a mixture of different gases. It envelopes surround the earth by gravitation. Second one definition, which is the atmosphere is colorless, odorless, tasteless. It envelopes surround earth by the gravitation. The maximum atmosphere which is also occur or found up to the height of 32 kilometers. Maximally 99% of all atmospheric matters which are also comprised between the zero means the surface of the earth up to the 32 kilometers, above which only 1% of atmosphere which is also occur or found. So maximally our atmosphere which is also composed of three main factors. First the gases, second one the water vapor, and third one the dust particle. First one the gases which are also formed in the atmosphere, earlier in the atmosphere, the earth which also formed at that time, the hot body of the earth which are also emitted so many gases into the atmosphere, and our atmosphere is also surrounded by the so many gases in our atmosphere. The gases is also divided into two categories: the invariable or the permanent gases, and second one the variable gases. The invariable gases, first the nitrogen gas. The nitrogen gas will also constitute 78.08% in the atmosphere. The nitrogen which also play very most important role for the growth of plant. Maximally in our ecosystem or on our surface of the earth, the plants are also take nitrogen in solid form from the soils. Second one, oxygen which are also comprises 20.95%. It means round figure 21% in the atmosphere. So maximally all the human lives or human beings which are also totally depend on oxygen. Without oxygen, no one can live in the earth on the earth surface. So oxygen is also most important for the respiration process of the human beings or animals on the surface of the earth. Third one gas of invariable gas, which is argon. The argon gas which also comprises 0.93% in the atmosphere. Fourth one neon, helium, krypton, xenon, hydrogen. All these are the invariable gases, but the proportion or the percentage of these gases in the atmosphere which is very few in amounts. The second one, variable gases, all these invariable gases are contribute or comprise 99% atmospheric gases in the atmosphere. Second one, variable gases which are also their proportion in the atmosphere which are also changeable. And first of all, the carbon dioxide, the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere which is 0.036% in the atmosphere. All the plants which are also during the photosynthesis, they also receive solar energy from the surface of the sun. At that time, the carbon dioxide, all the plants which are also emitted carbon dioxide in the atmosphere during the daytime, but at the night time, all the plants which are also take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and the proportion of the proportion of the carbon dioxide which is also changeable in the atmosphere. At the earlier time, the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is also in maximum amount, but later on the carbon dioxide which is also consumed by the plants the plants community of species which are also grow maximally, so the carbon dioxide which is also taken by the respiration or photosynthesis process of carbon, of plants. Second one second one variable gases, which is water vapor. The water vapor which also comprises or take 4% in the atmosphere. The water vapor also play very important role for the formation of cloud. The maximum source of water vapor which is also from the water bodies. If the temperature also decreases, the water vapor which is also increases. So maximally the water vapor which is also maximum present at the tropic zone. Otherwise, if we go to tropic towards the poleward, the amount of water vapor which is also decreases. So this phenomena or this vapor is also play very important role for the making of the clouds and the precipitation also. Third one, methane. Methane also produce. All these gases are the greenhouse gases. Among ozone is also made by the 3 atoms of oxygen in the atmosphere. The combination of 3 atoms of oxygen in the atmosphere. The ozone which is also found in the upper troposphere and the lower stratosphere. So maximally this gas is very important for all human beings on the surface of the earth. The ozone which also absorb the harmful ultraviolet radiation which is also radiated from the surface of the earth, from the surface of the sun towards the earth surface. So all the harmful ultraviolet which is also stored in the ozone layer, and finally all this high intensity radiation is transformed into the light bulb intense energy, and finally this light bulb intense energy reach at the surface of the earth. And all these variable gases which only constitute in the atmosphere at only 1%, but all these variable gases are also important for the making of all natural phenomena. Means all these gases are also absorbed in large amount of radiation or heat from the surface of the sun, and finally this atmosphere is also maintain the warm and cool conditions by these all gases. Second one, the composition of the atmosphere which also make the gases, and second one is the water vapor. The water vapor which is also found 40% in the atmosphere. Maximum water vapor which is also found up to the height of 29 km. So maximum up to 8, the water vapor which is also decreases. Means the water vapor, if the height it will increases from the surface of the earth, the water vapor which is also decreases. So water vapor maximum is the source of water vapor which all the water bodies in our on our earth surface. So maximum the oceans, seas, lakes, ponds, all these forms of water bodies which also produce in large amount of water vapor. So maximally near the Tropic of Cancer, in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, means the center zones of the earth or at the lower latitudes, this vapor is also produced in maximum amount because the center zone or the lower latitude of the earth surface which also receive maximum insolation. So due to the high temperature, the water also evaporated maximum amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. The proportion of water vapor in the atmosphere which is also decreases from equator area towards the polar area. And the importance of water vapor in the atmosphere, the water vapors which also form or held or play very important role for the formation of clouds, because if water vapor which are also emitted or which are come from the surface of the water bodies, they are also suspended or evaporated in the atmosphere, and finally all the vapors which are also coalesce around the dust particle, and finally all dust particle which also form cloud in the atmosphere, and finally the clouds at a particular heights the temperature also decreases, and finally all the water vapor are converted into water droplets, and all these droplets are also fall on the surface of the earth as or in the form of waters. Last word, dust particle. So dust particle, innumerable form of dust particle which are also found or occur or seen in our atmosphere. So maximally the types of dust particle or the dust particle are also different types: pollen grain dust particle, ash, soot. All these dust particles which are also the source of dust particles both from the man-made and natural also. The man-made activities, firing, mining, all this man-made constructing or the communication means the vehicle transportation, in all the processes or activities of the man by the man, the dust particles which are also suspended in large amount in the atmosphere, and finally the dense one dust particle which are also found up to the few kilometers from the surface of the earth, but the lighter one dust particle which are also suspended at a great height due to the conventional movement of the air. Due to the source of dust particle by the natural, the volcanic activities which also produces so many gases or ashes or the finer particles of the soils into the atmosphere. So maximally the dust particle also comes from different source of the natural and man-made. The importance of dust particle, the dust particle, if we go into the atmosphere, the lower part of the surface of the earth is also comprises dense one dust particle, and the upper part of the surface is also comprises the lighter one dust particle. So the dust particle also play a very vital role for the formation of clouds and transfer of heat also. So maximally all dust particle is also store solar energy, and finally all this solar energy stored in the dust particle, they are also transport or they are also suspended or they are also travel from this part to the another parts, and finally the atmosphere is also maintain their temperature condition if the heat stored in the dust particle at this place particular place, and finally this particular place or the store in heat by this dust particle which are also travel to the next one district or state where the temperature which also decreases, but due to the movement of this energy stored dust particle they also reaches at the cold one regime where they also maintain the temperature of this cold one regime, and finally all the dust particles which are also cohesion so many or in large amount of water vapor around it, and finally our dust particle in the atmosphere they also go upward, and finally one molecules or matter of the dust particle which are also get together, and finally the density of the dust particle in the atmosphere which is also increases, and the density of dust particle increases in the atmosphere, and finally the cloud formation also take place, and finally the condensation process is also create in the atmosphere, and finally the vapor is also converted into water droplets and fall in the form of precipitation. Thank you.